Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Can you believe it's August already? And what a beautiful August we're having. It's going to be warm again today. If I've been keeping my numbers correct and the count correct, I believe if it gets to be 90 degrees today, that's going to be 31 days in a row that we have been 90 or hotter. That's quite a record. I understand that the record previous was 22 days in a row. But they claim we've got a bit of a cool down coming. They say there's a cold front coming. I don't know how they can call it a cold front because it's going to go down into the mid to high 80s. And we could get that for a couple of days, and then they claim next week it's going to go back up to where it's going to be back up to 97. So we're going to have some warm weather with us for the next little while. Tonight is a movie in the park. We're going to show you the movie Wonder, and that is being sponsored by Simplot. So come on over to Stewart Park. You can come anytime after 5 or 6 if you want and just have some fun, play games, get to know your neighbors. But the movie itself will start right at dusk, and that'll be shortly after 9 o'clock tonight. Then next week is Chubbuck Days, and that's Friday and Saturday, the 10th and 11th. On Friday, we are going to show the show Greatest Showman. That is sponsored by the city and Allstate. So again, same kind of a venue. Make sure you put that on your schedule on Friday the 10th to come out. Greatest Showman is a fantastic show. I know I enjoyed it when I went to the movie house last year and watched it. And let's get together and enjoy that with one another. Then on Saturday morning, there will be a breakfast at Stewart Park. We then have the parade, and then there'll be activities at Stewart Park in the afternoon. So sounds like a lot of fun. Make sure and put those on your calendar and come on out and let's enjoy one another as a community. Just want to mention real quickly that we had our public hearing for our budget this last Wednesday. We're grateful for those who came and the support that we felt in what's happening with our budget right now. There weren't a lot of people there, but we had the opportunity to answer a few questions about what we're doing going forward in funding for our facility needs. And we think we've got a great plan going forward. And I would just suggest if anybody has questions about that, if they'll contact my office, we can certainly answer them for you. But it looks to me like at this point in time, we've got a plan going forward to take care of the facility needs of this community for the next 15 to 20 years. And we're grateful for that. We also have been working on a strategic plan for our city. I want to just mention that as I talk about this strategic plan, this isn't a document that is set in stone, that is policy driven. It really is something to help us make sure that as we grow as a community, we grow with purpose and we grow with the kind of attitude that we want to have as a city. This particular plan has 10 bullet points in it, and then with each of the bullet points is a process for how we as a city will implement that. Again, anyone who would like to see a copy of that, we'd be glad to provide that to you, and we would welcome comments about that. But we're getting ready to adopt that strategic plan. It'll help us have some purpose as we go forward. And just grateful for all those who've put a lot of time and effort. The City Council, our city planners, just grateful for the efforts that they've put in this regard. Let me give you an update on the Siphon-Northgate Interstate Exchange. The state is ready to go back out to bid to do their portion to make sure that the bridge gets put in. The one thing that is going to do is it's going to delay the opening of our interchange. Right now, it'll be about a year from now. They tell us it'll probably be about the end of July next year that interchange should be up and functioning. The Pocatello side and the Chubbuck side are coming along in a fantastic way. I think most of you have been able to see the pictures that we've been able to post of our side, and particularly the work that we're doing in the Highline Siphon area. We're grateful again for those who are putting in the effort for that work to happen. We're going to try to put a little bit of an emphasis now to try to get that Highline intersection opened as quickly as possible, where we have a little time frame now to get the rest of our road in and be ready to connect to the bridge for the interstate exchange. We recognize that that's an inconvenience over there at Siphon and Highline to have that closed down, and I think we're going to put our efforts into making sure that it is open just as soon as possible now. Just a real quick update on Country Acres. That's our other major project that's going on, a replacement of all the streets and sidewalks in that neighborhood. We're in the process of putting it back together. Yesterday, landscapers were there to start the first portion of getting the landscape back to where it needs to be. We're hoping that during this month that project has a conclusion, and it's going to be a great benefit to our community. I understand, if I understand correctly, they should start the remainder of the paving sometime within the next week. And once that pavement's in, it'll just be a matter of getting the rest of the landscaping taken care of and cleaning it up. And we're just grateful. It's going to be a great upgrade for that community. I think that's it for this week. If anybody has any particular questions or comments, one of the things that I'm a little bit challenged with sometimes is exactly what you'd like to hear. If you have questions about things that are going on in the community, something that you see or something that you'd like to see happen, I'd be more than glad to again take a call in my office to hear the things that you want to do. But I'm just so grateful to live in this community. Grateful for the trust that we feel here from each of you, and we don't take that lightly. I want you to make sure and understand and know that as the mayor, and I know our city council has the same commitment, we want to make sure we earn that trust and that we recognize that this is a community that needs to be driven by the will of the people. And so we're open, we want to hear from you, and we're just grateful for the trust that we have felt at this point in time. Thank you, and have a good week.